2, 1, you're on.
Hey! How's everyone tonight? For a hard-earned thirst, you need an Alex Theatre. How's everyone? Let me get my plugs in. Some things you just got to stick with. The plugs, mate, the plugs. Hey! How's things? My name is Quinlan. Welcome to Melbourne Musos Facechook Live from the Alex Theatre. Well, there's something there. There's a little bit of a New Orleans thingamajiggy there for you. So anyway, my name's Quinlan. Welcome to Melbourne Musos. The first thing you want to know about is what the hell is going on. Okay, now, I need to thank a few people before I even start. Okay, so what it is the glue of everything that we are doing is Suzi Cupid doll. Okay, Suzi, thank you so much. And I have Tim Barnett behind the camera, Simon Barnett over there, beautiful. And some beautiful people are doing some beautiful things for Melbourne music and all that. So what we're doing here is having me be the guinea pig as first cab off the rank. And what we're going to do bring everyone along. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Everyone gets a Guernsey. That's what it is. Now, what I usually do here with Melbourne Musos is start explaining. I usually put my post up at midday, and what I do after that is go away. I get all the questions. I go away and work out what John and Bonham did here, what Tool did there, all this sort of stuff. And then what I do is go away, research it, and then in my studio back at home, I'll go live at 6 o'clock and explain it to the best of my abilities, and then peel it off, and then make a community TV show about it. Now, as you know, we're towards the end of June, and at the end of June, it may well be the end of community TV in Australia as we know it. Okay, let's not talk about that just yet, because I'm not going to get on my high horse or anything like that. But what I'm going to do is actually explain to you all the things that happen in times of adversity. Okay, and this is one of the things. So, what I'm going to do, I'm in this beautiful foyer here. Look what's behind me here. Grand piano, oh, gorgeous. So what happens is I actually feel like playing a little bit of brushes here, because this is the kind of thing. I should be in a suit, really. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I was actually asked about brushes. Okay, so there's that there. So I'm going to go through this and explain a little bit of this with you, and the way that you would play brushes in such a sophisticated area, such as this, I see. So, what goes on? If you're going to do this, you've got two kinds of little brush patterns. I did do this the other week. I love continuity. So what goes on is that what I'm going to do here is play a brush pattern. I'm doing ovals. This is a little bit like what I did a couple of weeks ago, but I'm going to do a couple of other things. Now, you can't see it on the frontal camera here, but I'm going to give you a 4-camera shoot like I usually do. Probably not tonight, probably more like tomorrow and all that, or at least, very least over the weekend. And what goes on is when I'm playing brushes, I'm doing the oval, I'll do it up there. You just make ovals like that, and you get that beautiful sound. Okay, and there you go. And then your tars are in with the left hand. Hi-hat 2 and 4. I can't even start to tell you the importance of 2 and 4. I say it every week, and I'm going to keep on saying it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then if you want double time, you actually go right, left, right, left. Cheers. I was just doing that. Then with brushes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Now, do you notice that what I'm doing, I'll put it up here for you. I'm actually doing this little thing with the brush where what I'm doing here is I'm going to put a bit of pressure. I'm going to bend the wires, so to speak. Okay? So that's what's going on there. And what I'm going to do, flick. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. There you go, you see. So there's something about when you're actually playing in places like this, beautiful spaces and stuff. Now, when you are playing in a foyer such as this, in such a beautiful environment, sometimes what you've got to do is work out what you're going to do with your drums, you see. Now, what I've done here is I've brought in my earrings, and I'm going to play a little bit with these on. I want you to have a listen to the sound. It's very basic sound today, in the sense that we'll mix it all up a little bit for you later on, and all that. No problem at all. But here's the sound with the E-rings on. They're on all the 4 main drums here. Okay, so. So on it goes like that, you see. So there's the sound there. I'm going to take the snares off the snare drum here. There it is. Now, what goes on is as this foyer would build up and all that, everyone is insulation, you see. So I'll talk about that a little bit. Now, what goes on is sometimes you want to leave a little bit of ring in your drums, okay? Because then what would happen is the audience will pull it back to how you want it and all that. So now I've taken the earrings off. Here's the sound now. It's going to be a little bit more ringy, more open. There you go there. There it is there. Can you hear the ping of destiny there? Bang. Oh, if only Lars had that on St. Anger. Sorry. The jokes are still the accoutrements and the place is like incredible, but the jokes are still pretty shit. Anyway, sorry about that. That's what you do. Anyway, so what happens then? That's what goes on. Can you hear like that? These skins have been on Delilah. You usually see Doris. You usually see Doris every week at home and all that. This is Delilah. Hello, Delilah. You get to travel a little bit more. And what goes on is with lovely Delilah. She's a beautiful PDP, concept maple. She's not the most expensive kit in the room, but I do love her so. And what happens is that the skins that I have on, I have an Evans Genera on the snare drum here. There it is there. Well used, well flogged. Oh boy. I'm in St Kilda. Delilah's been in St Kilda. She's been in the vineyard. She's been Espy, all sorts of different places. Crack and all that. Oh no, the punk rocker's got my baby. I think I did that a couple of weeks ago. Anyway, and at home, Doris has UV1s. So this time last week you were listening to Evan's UV1 heads. These are G2, so they're 2-ply heads here, because they get flogged. So you've got a bit more of an open sound here. And one of the things about the hi-hat is that you notice that I've got Notice I got the hi-hat tambourine happening here. I mentioned this a little while ago because of Mr. John Henry Bonham, okay, of Led Zepp and all that. Imagine you're in a big, big room, you've got a big 24-inch cymbal. At some point, the 24-inch cymbal is beautiful, but it's just going... So Jimmy's asking, you know, hey, Bonzo, where's one? You know, kind of thing. And so throw a hi-hat tambourine on, and then next thing you know, you've got things like... It's almost like a dual ride thing. And there's something special about 2 and 4. Okay, so... There it is there. Now, magnets. Okay, what the hell am I on about? Let me talk about these. Minor cymbals have their little cymbal magnets and all that, but really, let's be honest, they're glorified fridge magnets. And then they get rebranded cymbal tuners. Let's make a packet out of that. So what happens here? Oh, pardon me. So what goes on, let me put them over there. There it is. Here's a beautiful 22-inch light ride. I love it. I've had it a long time. There it is without the magnets. Thank you, mother, for the magnets. Can't all be good. Now, here's the cymbal. Beautiful. Very ringing. Beautiful ring note. Now what goes on is, once again, as you are playing, you want to be able to get, you want to work quickly. We did this today. You work quick, okay? Don't muck around, know your stuff, get it done. And the thing about this is that with things like cymbals and stuff like this, what goes on is that it's always good to get maybe a cymbal that rings a little bit more, because you can always put a bit of gaffer on it or a bit of tape. But these little things with magnets, what you do is you just put them on. Now, I'll just do the A and B test here for you. 1 and a 2 and a 3. There's the ring. Beautiful. And what goes on now is I'm going to put the magnets on. Okay. There they are. I'm just going to put it on the edge. Look what happens. Bang. Much drier, you see. Got the idea there? So that's what happens there. The beauty of this kind of stuff, and you can move it around. You can move a magnet up so it doesn't, you can move, bring it into the middle. Bit drier. Put it right on the edge. Less again, sort of goes like that sort of stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the E-rings back, all that, and I'm going to move between them. Okay, I might take them off for one thing and put them on. There's always one thing. Steve Gadd, the man. Okay, I always saw him, especially in the 80s when he was playing with Paul Simon, all this business. 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover and all those great beats. I've done that on the show. I did that last year. But what he had was an E-ring off to the side on a bit of gaff. And then when the next song would come in, he would just go like that. So what would happen is you can have a beautiful pingy snare like that. Oh, there we go. I keep coming back to New Orleans. I don't know why tonight. And there it is there. Ping, ping, ping. Next song. Needs a bit drier stuff. It's almost like you're playing another snare drum. So it goes like that. See, it takes the edge off. This is not new, but you'll be surprised. Ah, that's for this song. I can do it for this one. There it is, you see? So what happens is that you can mix and match in seconds and all that. So with little things like this, I mean, this is a Genera head with a little tiny ring underneath and all that. And so really, what is it that I'm getting at with this little episode, the inaugural Live at the Alex kind of thing, is the idea that you can be adaptable within seconds, right? Seconds. You know, how often have we turned up and it's like, it's this, I'm going to do, I've brought the wrong cymbals. I need a china for that, I need for this, I brought my ringy ones, or I need to change the sound. I did a gig before lockdown. Beautiful place in Richmond, but very small. It's a beautiful place, don't get me wrong. And we played the first tune that we would normally play, and after the very first song, we got told, can the drummer maybe just turn down a little bit? You know, that kind of thing. Yeah. Where's my volume control? So what I did was, I don't mind if I do, because I bought these pair of brushes just today. So we did a whole set with brushes, right? At the end of it, we had a ball. And what it was being adaptable. You've got to work with your surroundings. You've got to think quick. You've got to move. You've got to change. You've got to do things. And what that band did, hello Victor and Rod and Mike, is the fact that by the time we got to that and then it was locked down and everything stopped, we did a dirty dive bar gig at the Last Chance. We went crack. We did some summer little concert things in Toorak, in that new area there that used to be the old car park sort of thing. Now it's the big $1 million thing, and we did a couple of gigs there. And that was unplugged. That was with brush sticks and all sorts of stuff. And then the last gig we did, I had to do it with brushes. So 3 gigs, 3 different things you hit drums with. I should have brought my rubber chicken. I used to hit drums with a rubber chicken, but I suppose that'd be banned now. But anyway... So what happens when I'm back to brushes? I do love them so. You get the idea of, with brushes, you can go horizontal. A bit like Kath and Kim, the horizontal Irish dancing, mate. There you go. So you can go vertical, you can go horizontal. So when we're doing the aforementioned... How's that sherry working for you? Yeah, no worries, darling. I might just have one more glass of bubbles before the bells ring for the show. There it is, beautiful. And then what happens then is that you can go vertical. And this is beautiful when you're doing things like some Latin kind of stuff. You see, could you get a bit more subtle. You know, one note samba. George of the jungle, watch out for that tree. Bit of a moving right along, blurring right across. Anyway, there you go. So what happens? You're in your suit, you've got everything beautiful, you've got this beautiful venue to play some beautiful music with, and then you get told, you've got to do this. No problem, bang, you've got it down, you see, because what happens? Don't let that happen. What happens is all of a sudden, you've got something that is versatile. You want some versatility. Then with the hi-hat, I always crap on about the hi-hat. I really do. It's so important. You can play it lightly, and you don't set the hi-hats off. Now I've got boot cam down here, so later on I will be giving you boot cam and all that so you can see what's actually going on. Now for this, what I'm actually doing is a little thing called heel toe, heel toe. You play, you put the heel of your boot on the heel plate on one, come back on two. So it's heel toe, heel. It's like you're doing this, bang, like that. So heel toe, a heel toe, a heel toe. And what that does, that's an ostinato within itself, right? And then what happens is if you add pressure, you'll get the jingles. I got the jingles. And then 1, 2, 3, lightly, goes away. No jingles. No jingles for you. That was Seinfeld, wasn't it? No soup for you. Sorry. I knew I got that joke from somewhere. Anyway. Tim's behind the camera over there. He's just grimacing at all these shitty jokes. Hi, Tim. How you going, mate? Hey! Hey! I got some gate crashes coming into my shoe. Hey! Hey! Broken glass already. Taxi. There we go. Sorry, we got waylaid. Why am I talking like this? I don't know why. Anyway, so do you see heel toe? I was able to do all of that. All that rubbish. With, hello camera over there. I haven't looked at you for a while. Without stopping. I could, you know. Okay, so there you go. Do you see? That's heel toe. Now, when we go to heel toe in other ways, what can start to happen? I like it ringing. I want it ringing. I'm taking the magnet off. I don't care. All right, there you go. Oop, there you go. Doink. Ah! Now, if I do that, that's all toe. Toe, 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 you see. Now I'm going to straddle. This is the... Actually, I'll go back one. I've jumped ahead of myself. What happens is that if you're playing left foot with your right hand... Pardon the wobbly hi-hat. Come on. Have another glass of wine, why don't you, hi-hat? Getting all the wobbles up, mate. So that's what goes on there. And then what goes on with that is that there's your bottom, right? Now, here's a little trick. What happens is if you keep that going and then you're playing it at the same time, you can nuance the open hi-hat, you see. So you can get that kind of... Getting a bit of a moving target here. But, it's squashy. And what happens, you can have it plain. I'm going to do it plain, I won't do a rim shot. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, bring it in. Can you hear that little... Now if I put in a double, you can actually play, I'll put that back on, play on. You can actually get in between and get those really quick ones. When you just say open hi-hat, you can give an open hi-hat the same kind of value as a crotchet, quaver, 16th note, but then you can get into 30 seconds and stuff. And that really gives you a little bit of a nuance on different things, right? Because if you're doing that... Now, boot camp later on, you can see it now. I've got my, the ball of my foot on the pedal, but I'm just going, you can see it there. That'll be down there on boot camp later on, okay? Now, when I'm doing that, do you notice that every time I put in a left hand in the in-between, it's automatically open, right? There it is there. Now, if you're doing that, then you can straddle. Okay, this is my left side kick. Got a double pedal down here. It's a D-dub direct drive. So that's just my left foot. I have diagonal coordination going here, you see. So what happens here is I've got this. And then bringing the right foot in the in-between. Oh. There it is there, so you get that going now. Herb Alexander of Primus, Tales from the Punch Bowl. Professor Nutbutter, I think? First track, anyway. What an album that was. 1995, 25 years ago. Oh, I do love that band so. Anyway, one of my favourite drummers is Herb Alexander. Oof. Brilliant, brilliant drummer. Amazing. But you hear that, right? And there's that. So you get that kind of stuff, right? Now, one of the things that can happen when you're dealing with stuff like that, this is something, once again, that Steve Gadd was famous for, is that if you're doing, say, 16th note rock beats, there's all that, that's all terrific. But Steve Gadd actually brought in kind of like a twin ride thing where he would actually do... And there's that. Now what I was doing there... Flams, you see? There's the flams. If you didn't put them in, if you didn't put the flams in, it's still beautiful. But let's face it, it's the silence of the flams. And that's what goes on, you see. So, that's another old one. Did you like that one, Tim? Was that all right? Silent, was that okay? Oh, okay, thanks. You can't win them all. Tough crowd back there. So just to finish off, I'm going to finish off now. I want to just talk about that kind of thing. Do you see, go off and listen to Steve Gadd. There's about 2,000 albums out there. But have a listen to it back and source what I'm on about. Go have a listen to Herb Alexander. There's Bonham in there. There's everything else. There's everything else when you're in a beautiful venue like this one. Be adaptable, be ready to move, be ready to take it all in and be part of it. I'm going to wrap it up now. This is a brave new world for us all. And what it is, you know, when the going gets tough and all that, you get cracking. And what it is this is for everyone. I'd like to thank a few people again. The glue to all this is Suzi Cupido. Right? She's beautiful, Suzi. And the Barnett brothers, Simon and Tim Barnett. And all at the Alex Theatre. You are not alone. This is going to be open for everybody. It's going to start your engines, okay? If you've got a band and everything's stopped, start rehearsing again. There's going to be a place for you, okay? No one, it's one of those things where this is what this is. It's a new initiative. I am the guinea pig. This is the first one. We're getting the sound right. We're getting things. There's a lot of phone work happening behind the scenes. But I'm going to leave you and love you with all of that. If you want to have a look later on, we're all going to get all the little different cameras. This is live, sort of thing. That's why you've got all the crappy jokes. I'll edit them out later. If you want, I'll keep them in if you want. Anyway, but what goes on is my name's Chris Quinlan. I'm part of a wonderful team. I actually got ambushed. I went in to do an interview about the current situation as far as Melbourne Musos and community television and everything else that's going on. And then look what's happened. Things happen. There's some kind of gold out there. And we dig, we stick together, and we're going to get through this stuff. Okay? There is a place for everyone here. And what goes on is I'm going to love and leave you. I already said that. But drop me a line if you like or whatever. And this is the beginning of a brave new world. And we love you all. Take care. I'm out of here. I'm going to get my plugs. We'll meet again. I didn't say Dame Vera Lynn. Mwah. And there. Oh! Simon Barnett just crashed the set, everyone. There you go. Cheers. And here's to Dame Vera Lynn. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when. But now I'm off to have another beer. There you go. See you later, I'm out.